And I'm thinking, I know what he did wrong. Basic technical error. He came over and he tentatively asked for permission to join her at the table. Simple rookie error. I know what I have to do. I just have to open, and as I'm opening, pull the chair out and sit down and plonk myself down there. Yeah, that's right. That's all. It's simple. Okay. So I go over and I go, "Привет," my only word of Russian at the time. And it's because I'm like, how assumptive is that? How good am I to recognize that she's Russian and say one word of Russian? She's going to love this shit. "Привет." Pull the chair out, sit down. This girl does not even look at me. She goes like this. Stands up and walks off. Yeah? And around me, and there's like 30 people sitting around me, and they all burst into peals of laughter. Yeah? And my students are over there watching me too and going, is this part of the game? Playing hard to get, huh, James? Oh, nice. Yeah? So I've just been brutally, there's bad rejections, and then there's that. A bad rejection is when a girl turns to you and gives you, has the respect to tell you to fuck off. Yeah? Where she actually acknowledges your existence to tell you to fuck off. Yeah? This girl didn't acknowledge my existence. Yeah? I do not exist to this woman. Later on we found out why. We were walking around the island and we see her walking along with a man with star tattoos on his knees and looking very, very large and covered in knife scars. That woman saved our lives by getting up and walking off because her boyfriend was a very nasty motherfucker. Yeah? And no matter what we did, it didn't matter. It was not going to work. That aside, in that moment, I'm sitting there and everyone is laughing at me. I'm sitting in basically my underpants. Yeah? Hottest woman in the world has sauntered off. Yeah? And what I do is I stand up and I go like this. And then I walk back to my students and I said, who's afraid to go and talk to some nines? Not me. And they went, yeah, let's go do that. A couple of you guys have been asking me these questions, like, is the way to do it like just go and do it heaps of times? Like you just have to do it, right? And like over and over again or something, and they're always trying to, get these quantifiable ideas of like, how long was it until you felt happy with yourself? Or, at what point do you know that you're really going to be good at this? And all these questions that are grappling for this idea of a moment when you feel satisfied or that you know what you're doing or how many and all this kind of shit. Never happens. This was 5 years into my career as a professional seduction coach after I had slept with many, many, many women, which none of us will ever say the number of. Yeah. This kind of stuff will continue to happen to me. Thank God, because that means I keep getting to experience those moments of in that moment when I felt humiliated, I felt embarrassed, I felt all those things. No, I didn't, because I remembered what I tell my students. In that moment, I felt a whole bunch of bubbling, funny sensations in my body. And my mind immediately wants to latch onto them and give them meaning. That's humiliation, that's rejection. Your career's finished, those guys are going to think you're a fraud, whatever. No. I just felt a whole bunch of stuff. I stood up, I breathed it in and out, I owned it, I was okay with it, I bowed, and I felt like a fucking hero. Because I had done all that I could. Definitely all I could in that situation, and therefore I walked away with growth. You guys will go out there and you will do the Uzi dance many times. And it can be crippling to you, to your self-esteem, to your development, if you place meanings on it. If each time a girl says, no, whatever, I'm busy, fuck you, or just sips her coffee and walks off on you, you take that as a personal affront to you as a man, to your worthiness, you will not get good at this. You cannot. It'll just be too demoralizing. But if you take each of those experiences as an individual point in time, for me, each approach is the only approach. Each girl I'm speaking to is the only girl I've ever spoken to. That's my mindset. In that moment when I'm there with her, I'm not thinking about I'm practicing this to get to the next one, just me and her. And then whatever the outcome of that is, I'm going to breathe through it. I'm going to take labels off it. I'm going to feel it for what it is, and then I'll be having my breakthroughs. Then I'll have growth. Thank you very much.
Where the hell is Anthony Johnson?